When God created us, He did not just create us for nothing. He created us with a mission. We don't just occupy space here on earth. He created us with a mission. Our denomination is Christian and Missionary Alliance. The Christian Missionary Alliance, first and foremost in 1899, was not a denomination. It is an agency who would send missions around the world. Then later on 90s, it becomes a denomination. What I'm trying to say here, the Christian and Missionary Alliance, it is our DNA of doing mission. When we stop doing the mission, we are not the CMA. Our hearts and the hearts of the Christian Missionary Alliance is mission. Now, this is what I notice. When churches don't do mission, they usually split. Because they're doing their own mission rather than the mission of God. I've been in this church for the past 8 years, or maybe almost 9 years. We're trying to be missional in all aspects of this church. By God's grace, next year in spring, we're going to launch our second service, and not in the same place. I'm working with Cicely and other members of the team. We're going to find a place and start the second service. We try to reach out people. We try to have this a cell church. We don't meet here during fourth Sunday of the month. We meet at different places, different houses in order to reach out people. We are a missionary church. If we will stop that, and I tell you, there are lots of churches who stop doing mission, and some of those churches are split or divided. There's so much struggles inside the church because they become busy on their own mission. Now let me bring you here. The series that I choose for this month is entitled, Without God, We Cannot. Without us, God will not. Now I titled this message, Solo. You know what it means, solo. If you have your program with you, you could see this. Now it says here, prepare to do what? Solo. I don't want to go there. And if you ask me to have, solo when it comes on solo and singing, no, I couldn't do that. At the same time, if you ask me to go to the mission as a solo, as a person, just a single person, I could not do that. If you look at, at the top, it says, part man, part machine, total weapon. Now I tell you, I don't have a total weapon. Mission is not a solo. Mission is a partnership with God. And that's why the text we're going to look at, Jesus Christ promised to His disciples, and He said, surely, always, I'll be with you to the very end of the world. Please look at your Bible with me. In the book of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 20. But let me establish the context here. If you look at there, the context of chapter 28, this is after the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Then after the resurrection of Jesus Christ, He commanded the women. If you look at in verse 10 in chapter 28, the women was commanded to tell the disciples to go to Galilee, as well as it mentioned in verse 16. So what happened? The disciples, they went to Galilee. And this is where Jesus Christ gave the Great Commission. After giving the Great Commission, He assured them, first, He said, surely. Now, what's the word here, surely? The Oxford Dictionary define the word surely is what? It must be true. It must be certain. The Greek word of surely is just like kind of English I do, which means what? Demonstrative or representative particle that draws attention to what follows. If you look at the verse, what follows? What follows is, what? He said, surely I am with you. Now if you look at here, the word I am, Jesus used what? A first personal pronoun. The word, the phrase there, I am, he referred to himself. He said, surely I am with you. It is a personal pronoun that he assured the disciples, as you would do the Great Commission, you will not do it by yourself, but I am with you. He said, surely I am with you. This is a promise of his abiding presence. If you remember, it's Christmas, right? The word God with us is actually in the New Testament, is one of the promise, a messianic verse in Isaiah. And this is the promise in the book of Isaiah. And it is mentioned here in Matthew chapter 1 verse 23, what it says, the virgin will be with child, will give birth, what? To a son. And they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. So now, think about this. When he gave the Great Commission, he assured them that I'll be with you. Now, the reference of Emmanuel, God with us, it declares that God remains with us for now and eternity. Maybe you would ask, how come the presence of God is not there with the disciples? Because at this time, after he gave the Great Commission, Jesus Christ was exalted to heaven. But remember, when Jesus Christ was exalted, he said in John, it is in your advantage that as I will go to my heavenly Father, there is something that is going to give us. What is it? The Holy Spirit. Now, the presence of Jesus Christ, it is represented by the Spirit of Jesus Christ that is with us and that is in us. When Jesus Christ said, I'll be with you, he said, I'll be with you in eternity. This is what John Wesley said. The best of it all is what? God is with us. The best thing that happened in humanity, that God is with us. I don't know what challenges that we are facing, but there is the assurance that God said, I'll be with you. I remember a story about a judge. Here is a school teacher. He went to the red light. As he went to the red light, the police called her. And she was brought to the court. And then she pleaded to the judge and said, Judge, would you let me go because my student is waiting for me? And then the judge looked at her. So, are you a school teacher? She said, yes, I am a school teacher. And the judge, oh, come on. I've been waiting for this time to come. I want to sit down on the table. Would you give her a paper and a pen? I tell you, for how many years in school, my teachers will always if I done something wrong, you need to write 500 times on your paper. Now, you need to write on the paper. I go through it like 500 times. My friend, if we're going to write now the word God with us 500 times, hoping that we will be reminded whatever challenges that we have, we will be able to say, what? God is with us. The second point I'd like to share to you is what? Always. So if you look at there in verse 20b, so surely, and then always. So surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. Now, the Webster Dictionary defines the word always as what? At all time, on every occasion. Now, the word always in Greek are defined in two words. The first, I, which means what? Invariably, at any and every time. The second Greek word is diapantos, which means through all. Example, through all time, it is continuous. So the presence of God will be with his disciples and will be with us. How many times? What? At any and every time. What else? Through all the time, it continues, it never stops. There is no time that in the life of the disciples, that the presence of God is what? Absent. So whatever challenges, wherever we are, I tell you, the presence of God is surely and always. Well, you know the word there always, it never stops. At all points in our lives or occasions, He is with us. What will be the effect? Now, having the abiding presence of God and doing the mission. Knowingly what? Surely, always the presence of God is with us. Now, I tell you, God is not looking for somebody who is brilliant. God is not looking for somebody who have all the resources that he could do, that he don't need God. Because the abiding presence is with us. I want you to look at this statement. It says, God is looking for willing hearts. God has no favorites. You do not have to be what? Special. But you have to be available. Maybe you would say, oh, Pastor, I can explain this, I cannot do that. You know what? You have the presence of God. He will help you. What you just need is what? We have to be available. Are we available? Amen. Oh, come on, guys. Are you available? Wow, that's what I heard. Praise the Lord. Let me give you another joke. In the community, there is a new business that is open, a new haircut business that is open. And he made this huge sign there. What? We give $7 haircuts. Wow, that's so cheap. You know, I paid $25. My haircut plus the tip is $30. Here it is, a new business is open. I hope this is in Calgary. $7 haircuts. And I tell you, 50 meters away from the new haircut that is just opened, Leo, who have 40 years of experience in doing this kind of business, he put up a sign like this. My friends, sometimes we try to fix the mission of God. We don't want to do all those kind of, difficult or sacrificial kind of mission. We want to fix the mission of God that is convenience. We want to choose the kind of mission that, that we like it. But I tell you, mission is the opposite. Because of mission, Jesus Christ, He gave His life, He died on the cross. You would hear lots of missionaries in the Arab missions, in China and Europe area, have been killed because of mission. Mission is not easy. Again, what is that? Surely, always. What is the barometer of these two things? Always, surely, and always. What's the barometer of this? Now let's look at this passage. And surely I am with you always. What? To the very end of the age. Now the phrase here, to the very end. This phrase tells us the act of bringing to final completion. As we will bring the Great Commission, He will be with us until the completion of that mission. But the only thing, because we are not doing the Great Commission, then how could the presence of God could be with us? What are they bringing to final completion? The mission. What's that mission? To preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Though the Lord did not remain physically with the 11, His spiritual presence was with them until their tasks on earth were finished. My friend, I tell you, God will never forsake us nor leave us. He assured us surely and always that His abiding presence will be with us until we finish the mission that God has put in our heart. To the very end of the age, the presence of God will never what? Cease. To be with His disciples as they will fulfill the mission of God. God knows that without His abiding presence, what? We cannot fulfill our mission. The last chapter, the last verse of Matthew, Jesus assured His disciples, what? As they can fulfill the mission because of the presence of God. Can they fulfill? Yes. Can we fulfill the mission that God has given to us? Yes. Why? Because He promised, He said, surely and always I will be with you even to the very end of the world. The only thing, nobody is doing the mission. When God called us to do the Great Commission, He did not let us alone. He gave us surely and always His abiding presence. There is a joke about, in the Sunday school, the Sunday school teacher asked her students to make a drawing or present a picture about the family of Joseph, Mary, and baby Jesus Christ. So the first picture that is presented, riding on a donkey with Mary, and Joseph, and baby Jesus. The second picture that is presented is baby Jesus and Joseph and Mary in a manger. But there is one picture that the Sunday school teacher that she was so interested. And she need to ask the explanation for the one who drew that picture. He called the boy and he said, how come there are 4 heads that sticking out of the windows of the plane? It should be just 3. How come that there are 4? Oh, the boy, about this person? He said, that's Pontius Pilate. Not Pontius Pilate. He said, that is Pontius Pilate. And that's what there are 4 heads. So that's the Pilate. Now I don't know if there's Pontius Pilate or Pilate in our lives, so the one who is driving. I hope the thing that is driving within us is the mission that we have to fulfill the Great Commission. Why do we need this truth today? God has assured us of His abiding presence surely in all ways. How come we don't engage to mission? Now how come we just ignore the mission? What do you think? Why? Because we are so busy. What are we busy for? Engaging to our own mission. Why? Because we valued so much our own mission. And because of that, we become so busy fulfilling our own mission and ignore the mission. I want to look at this parable of the rich man. And I hope you would realize, because I believe all of us here are busy on our own mission, rather than the mission of God. Now I want you to look at your Bible here. This is what the rich man said to himself. He said, this is what I'll do. I will tear down my barns and build the bigger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to myself, you have plenty of good things laid up for many years. And then what he said? Take life easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. Now I believe this is the mission of this rich man. In reality, if you look at this verse, this is actually a mission. In our everyday life, what's the response of Jesus Christ? But God said to him, what? You fool, this very night, what? Your life will be demanded from you. Then, who will get what you have prepared for yourself? We work how many days in a week? 5 days? Now sometimes we're not even contented of 5 days. We're not even contented of 1 job. We even have 2 jobs, and sometimes we're not even contented of 2 jobs. We have 3 jobs. I hope you look at this verse. Now I hope there must be a change of strategy. We need to be busy what? On engaging God's mission. We need to value so much the mission of God. We need to fulfill the mission of God that God has put into our life. And I hope the response of God would be in Matthew chapter 25 verse 23, what it says? Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been what? Faithful with few things. I will put you in charge of many things. The last part, what it says? Come, share your master's happiness. I hope at the end of our life, that's the reality. Like one of this day we will die. Have you visited the cemetery? If you look at in the cemetery, there are different sizes of, how do you call that? Pansion, whatever? Yung tombs, or in Tagalog, what do you call that? Nicho. Finally. So, what I'm trying to say here, don't try to be busy so much of your own mission. Don't try to be busy so much of the things that you want to fulfill in this world, because one of this day, the life that we have will be demanded from us. Amen. My friend, I hope we're busy of God's mission rather than our mission, because one of this day we will die. And I hope what God is going to say to us is, well done, good and faithful. Let me explain to this. I asked Jonah to buy what do you expect from me? It is the biggest. Then Jonah, thank you so much. Now here, I want you to show to you. Now God has protected so much the Great Commission. If you look at the top, at the top, what he put there, I don't know if you could see it, in verse 18, he said, what he said there? Jesus said, all the authority, what? Is given. Under heaven and earth is given to me. So there is the authority. And then not only that, at the last part, at the bottom, he has this. And what he said there? Surely I am with you always, even to the very end of the world. So here it is. He gave us the promise. He said, all the authority under heaven and earth. And he said in verse 20, I am with you always to the very end of the earth. Now, he wants to protect. What he wants to protect? The Great Commission, who would bring the Great Commission. Now, here it is. I want you to think about it. This is the Great Commission. He put on the bread. He made it sure the Great Commission is protected by the power under heaven and earth. And at the bottom, he assured us, what? I'll be with you always, even to the very end of the world. The person who is inside that, who is bringing the Great Commission, he is protected by all the power under heaven and earth. He is protected by his presence. He said, I am with you always, even to the very end of the world. My friend, if you will receive and do the Great Commission, he promised to us, he said, all the power under heaven and earth. He assured us with his presence. He said, surely and always I'll be with you. My friend, let's do the Great Commission. It is not by yourself. Mission is not a solo mission. It is a partnership. I hope as you will come out in this building, you are saying to yourself, I need to do the Great Commission. Why? Because the Great Commission is protected by His power and by His presence. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we thank you so much for speaking for us. I pray, Lord, maybe some of us, Lord, here are not so concerned with the Great Commission. Father, forgive us that many, many times we become so busy of our own mission. Just like, Lord, the rich man in the Bible. He becomes so busy of gathering all those wealth, all those material things. And then God said, you fool, because your life will be demanded. Lord, I pray, before that life will be demanded from us, Lord, help us that we will do the Great Commission. Because we understand, Lord, our lives in this world is just a passing by. We don't know when you will demand our lives, O Lord. Lord, I pray that you would prepare us, help us to do the mission, O Lord. Because the mission, that is the very reason why you have sent Jesus Christ to die on the cross. Father, thank you so much. Lord, I pray that you would that we will have a heart of mission. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. God bless you.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above, ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and